face. And that's when the bottom of my world fell out. Carl was having an erotic dream, all right, but it wasn't about me. As I sat down, he moaned again, and this time he moaned out a name. Emily. I don't know who the fuck Emily was, but she certainly wasn't me, and the name wasn't even close to my name, Amelia. It's not like I had misunderstood him. Carl had kept moaning, his eye twitching and his lips curling up in a smile as my blood ran cold. In that moment, I knew my husband was having an affair. It wasn't just the name on his lips, although that was what had made me see it. It was everything. It explained why he could barely keep his hands off me anymore. He felt guilty because he was fucking some other girl, so he paid extra attention to me, hoping to appease the feeling. It explained why I would often catch him staring off into space, a faraway look in his eyes and a smile on his face. He was thinking about her. Emily, the bitch who was stealing my husband. I had thought about her all day, imagining what she looked like, what her voice sounded like, what she smelled like. I wondered what it was about her that attracted Carl to her, what she had that I didn't. I knew I was torturing myself, but I couldn't help it. I imagined Emily to be younger than me, prettier than me. She was likely more adventurous than me, letting Carl do all the things in the bedroom that I wouldn't even entertain. I had almost reached out and woken Carl up and demanded to know the truth there and then. But instead I lay down, my back to Carl, silent tears running down my face and my knees pulled up to my stomach. I must have eventually fallen asleep because I woke up this morning wanting to confront Carl. Still, I resisted the urge to do it. He would only deny it and we'd end up getting into a big fight. Or worse, he wouldn't even bother trying to deny it, and I would have to face the fact that my marriage was truly over. I didn't want that. Carl's sudden, constant advances bothered me somewhat, and he sometimes did things that made me want to strangle him, but despite it all, I loved him and didn't want to lose him. "You're already losing him," a voice whispered inside my head. It was a strange voice, mine and yet not me. The voice sounded like mine, but it had a slightly different cadence, and it was much more forceful than my voice, a little cynical and a lot tougher than me. It sounded strangely pleased that I was losing Carl. I think it was the memory of that voice that finally made me blurt out, finally made me ask the question that had been on the end of my tongue all day. "Carl, who is Emily?" I said. "Huh?" Carl grunted. I could tell by his voice that he wasn't even close to sleep, and that made me even more suspicious. Why was he pretending to be half asleep when he wasn't? If he really wasn't doing anything wrong, then shouldn't his answer have been something along the lines of, "I don't know anyone called Emily." "You heard me, Carl. Who is she? Where did you meet her? How long have you been fucking her?" I said. Carl sat up, the mattress shifting slightly beneath me as he moved. He flicked on his bedside lamp with no warning, and I blinked a couple of times as my eyes adjusted to the light. When I could see normally again, I looked at Carl, determined to look him in the eye for this. I decided pretty much instantly that was a mistake. Carl's eyes were a vivid green color, the color of emeralds, and they had always been my favorite feature of his. At 40, a few small lines had started to show up in the outer corners of his eyes, but they were still far and away his best feature. I swept my gaze from his eyes, taking in the rest of him. His hair, still full but starting to go gray around the temples. His sharp features, and his smooth,